So how do we turn this everyday eye look into an amazing smoky eye using minerals? Now a lot of people think minerals, you can't get that evening look, you can't get that glamorous look, and it is all just about a day look. Yes, it predominantly is, but if you use it correctly, then you can get that look as well. So welcome to this next lesson where we're going to go deep on creating a smoky evening eye look. So I'm actually going to be using two different palettes for this. So the palette which is going to freak some people out is the black and the white, okay? And then I'm going to be using the cream and the brown. Now when you're using palettes, pressed powder, you can get that brown, lighter or darker, depending on the brushes that you use. So by using a soft fluffy brush, which is obviously what we've already used in our eye, it's going to be softer. Whereas if we went in with something like this, a flat, quite dense bristle brush, then you will get a more solid look, okay, and a slightly darker look. So a little bit of a cheat, this is dead easy. A little bit of a cheat, how I love to do my eyes is just using a tissue, that's it. So what we're gonna actually do, I'm actually gonna place this tissue here because we want the lift to come up this side, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first go in with the brown. Now we have got a little bit on already, I know that, but this is gonna cover that and blend it all in, so don't worry about that. So we're gonna place this here, and what we're then gonna do is get this brush here. We're gonna place it and build up one side of the brush in our palette. So we've got all the product on one side. Then going from the tissue inwards, we are then going to be sweeping it over. We're going to leave about 1/2 centimetre from that brow edge, okay? And we're going to blend this in, and we're going to come almost halfway in. Okay, can we see here? We've now got a lift on that side, okay? We then can go in and do the same with the other side. So hold it here, and you're coming in from the edge and going over, leaving a little bit of a gap just under that brow, because we want to make sure that we can put either some white or some beige to lift that look. Okay, now I want to straighten this side up because I think as I'm trying to look in the camera and in the mirror, I've not done my line in the right position, so I'm just going to go back and just alter that slightly. Okay, I'm happy with that now. So now, as you can see, we've got a strong lift either side. Now from here, it's created this look. Yes, it needs blending, it needs more work, but we have now created that look. So what I want to do, I want to then go back in with the brown and come further across. So I'm going to use a softer brush for this. Keep this here, using a softer brush, and I want to come all the way over. Okay, halfway, go halfway across, and this is going to soften that brown base that we've created. Yeah, same again on this side. If your tissue gets a bit mucky, grab another tissue. This is all about easy hacks, easy way to apply your makeup, okay? And don't be alarmed if your edges are looking strong. Some people might want that strong look. If you don't, we can soften it all afterwards. We can go in with the beige round the outside and soften. Now, this for me is a nice lift, but I want to go darker, okay? This might freak a few people out, so I'm going to go in with the black. Now, treat the black with caution, okay? I would always, if you've not used black before, go in with a softer brush, But this, what I want to do is I want to make the socket really, really dark and then blend it to the brown, because this will give that real open eye look. So I want to hold this back in place using this brush, go into the black. As you can see, I have my black on here, and I am going to go over where I've been with the brown, but don't go right to the edges. Concentrate more in that socket, but still have this tissue here, okay? Still have this tissue in place, so it means it's going to catch any residue that might fall, but also it's going to stop you coming out of that really nice edge that you've created. So if you look now, comparing got a little bit of leakage here. Comparing the density of this one to this one, it's looking a little bit denser. It's looking like there's more intensity in that socket. Okay, just going to fold that over and just neaten this edge slightly. It is extremely difficult recording eye looks, because normally I'm right up in the camera, I'm right up at the mirror doing this, and obviously if I do that, you ain't gonna see my face. Okay, so then I'm gonna now go to this eye here. So same again, using this brush, pick up some of my black, place it here, and I'm gonna go in mainly to the socket. You can see that density building. Apply a little bit more if you need to. And dab it in. You can be firm. And this is the beauty when you're doing your own. You know how firm you can go. So as you can see here, look at that lift that we've created. Look at how much more intensity we've now got by using the black. Now as you can see, we've got a lot that needs blending, okay, which is fine, because this is what we're going to do right at the end. I think I need to apply just a little bit more to this edge. Let's get another tissue. Okay, place that here. I feel like we've not got that nice edge, crisp edge on this side like we have the other, so I just want a little bit more. Fabulous. If you look at that now, look at the intensity of the eyes. So we need this brush again. So you'd either go and clean it, or you'd use a different brush which is similar. This is where we're going to go around with the beige just to soften all those edges. So we don't want to pick up too much product, we don't want to cover what we've done, but we want to make sure those edges are blended. So have a little bit of product, give it a little bit of a blow, and then we're going to go around the edges, making sure that we are hitting this edge here just under that brow bone. And importantly as well, this lower edge. You can add a bit of white to the lower edge if you want to. I like a little bit of white just up here, but I do feel that it can look a bit harsh, so I do like my beige. I use my beige a hell of a lot. Same again on this side. Going around the edges, picking up a little bit more powder. And we're just now creating softer edges. So now we have got a stunning wide eye. It's a little bit here that's missing. This is where my creases come in, you know. Sometimes you've got to stretch your eyes in certain places to get those creases. And I've just not obviously gone as firm on this side. There we go. So now when we look at the eyes, they are lifting out. a nice open eye. We've avoided putting a lot in the center because the center will make your eyes look darker, and as you know, I've got dark eyes. I don't want to be exaggerating them. Now, if you wanted to add a bit of white, you can do. That is in this palette. You could just pick up a little bit of white and you can just hit that just here, just under that brow bone. So you can see it just highlights that top edge. You don't have to. Actually, it does give it a nice finish, but it's obviously entirely to you. You have the choice in these palettes. And these palettes are refillable. So if you buy one of them and think, oh, you know what, I'm not using the white, I don't need that, but I want the black, then replace your white with a beige. You know, you can just buy your little inserts to actually make it more custom for you. And that's it. So I would just give it a little, again, go over the whole area, just soften everything. Now, I've already got mascara on because you saw I did the mascara earlier, but what I want to do, I want to actually show you a slightly more intense eyeliner. So same again, using the eyeliner palette, applying it wet, so I'd give it a little cheeky lick, and I'd stretch the eye. And with this, I actually want it to be more intense this time, okay? Because I am doing more of an evening look, so I won't blend it as much as I did when I did the everyday look that I showed you. So you can see it's more intense than this one here, okay? Just add a little bit more intensity. Give it another cheeky lick. And same again, this is optional, okay? So if you feel that you don't like that crisp look, you can go in with a brush similar to this kind of formation, okay? And just give it a little soft edge. Just soften it slightly. I do like that look. I do like a crisp look, especially when I am creating more of an evening eye look. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go in with, I want more colour on my cheeks, okay? Because my base currently is a day base. I want to have some more colour on my cheeks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with a bit of a blusher to get a little bit of a pinky tone there. And then I'm going to go in with a highlighter as well. So here is my blusher that I enjoy using. I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush because I do want more intensity than what I would do with a day look. So normally the smaller brushes will give you a little bit more intensity, and I'm going to add that here. Now, I am a sucker for a nice pigmented kind of highlighter, and I've already shown you obviously the Topazimite that I do use on my cheeks, but I'm going to use this one. So this is a highlighter called Quartz Kiss. As we can see, can we see this here? The goldy shimmery tone. Absolutely love it. So this, I'm going to dab this, okay, using my fingers. I use fingers a lot when I do makeup. I use them a hell of a lot. I just find that, you know, you don't have to be as careful as you think you are, as you think you need to be. So all I've done here is put a little bit of highlighter, and then I am blending it in. This has got a gorgeous kind of shimmer, so when it hits that light, it will pick up them highlighted areas. Now, when you're using highlighter, the main areas are the cheekbone, okay? So we highlight these cheekbone areas. If you are wanting to create more of a point to the nose, then you've got your nose, okay? So a little bit of highlight whizzing down the nose area. Obviously, don't overdo it. These products go so far. So a little bit of highlight going down the nose, and also the temples are a good area to put a little bit of highlight as well, okay? It's something that you don't want all over. That would be your bronzers that you would have all over. And then that's it. That is a more evening eye look. And it is so easy to use, and all you need is, you know, we use 3 to 4 colours, okay? We used the little bit of white and the black in one duo, then the cream and the beige, and added more of the eyeliner. Blended that all in, and we could always go over with a coat of mascara to get more thickening in there as well. But you can use your cheats, use your tissue, make it easy for you. If you don't want to look as glam as that, then get rid of the black and just use that tissue cheat with your brown to get that intensity in the socket and to get this lift on the side.